I didn't think I could watch Superman fall farther than seeing Will Smith on Red Table Talk with that crying face talking about bad marriage for life. And yet, here we are. This is one of those make or break moments that shows what a comedian is made out of.
Fucking no! I'm going to, okay? Okay.
This was a moment a lot of people didn't catch. But as a comedian, I know exactly what he meant. What Chris Rock was contemplating in that moment where he said, oh, I could, was a litany of low-hanging fruit that he could have feasted on. If instead of doing that, Chris Rock went, where was this energy when August Alsina fucked your bitch? It would have been like the moment in fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark where they open the Ark of the Covenant and people's faces are melting and heads are fucking exploding. Chris Rock could have made it his game and taken all the power away from Will and made what Will did look even more bitch. Because after Will went up and slapped him, he wasn't about to go up there again and start fighting with him and rolling around like a fucking cartoon. Chris had the power in this moment. Will played his card. And Chris had so much ammo, so many cards he could play and chose not to. In the moments between him saying, I'm going to, okay, and the next moment where he says, oh, I could, okay. In his mind, he's thinking about the Oscars, whether they're gonna be upset. Maybe they won't invite me back if I take the low road and I say the shit about August Alsina and entanglements and whatever and Tupac and whatever. He's thinking about his other corporate sponsors. He's thinking about all of the options of things he could say. He's still processing what the fuck just happened. He's probably thinking about Twitter exploding at the moment that this is happening. And he's doing all of this while still remaining composed, hands behind his fucking back. In a matter of seconds, decides we're just gonna move on. People watched this and thought, y'all see what happened? Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. But bro, it's so much deeper.
Okay.
That is the reaction and face of someone who knows they have their finger on the button and all they would have to do is go click and the nukes would launch and obliterate the entire fucking world. This moment where Chris Rock went, to me is one of the greatest feats of any stand-up comedian of all time, and he deserves our respect for that. And then he looks over. You know I could end this man's whole career right now, right? The price just went up, right? The bag just went up, right? For me sacrificing what would be the greatest beef moment of all time. The greatest body bag wasted moment of all time, right? Y'all saw this shit, right? He's looking over at the producer or whoever. And the person there that's watching is going, just rap, continue, keep going. I think Chris Rock is in the car right now on the phone with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon going, huh? Will Smith? Don't know who he is. Oh, it's starting to come back to me now. A moment of respect for fucking Chris Rock. Cover up the top half of Will's face, jaw clenched, angry. Now cover up the bottom half and just look at his eyes. His eyebrows aren't furrowed. He's not glaring. You could tell this is a person who's in pain and who's unsure about his actions.
Out your fucking mouth! Wow!
See, people still laughing, thinking it's a joke.
Oh, dude!
And Chris Rock, wow, dude. The universal code for, bro, it's a fucking joke. Hey, Will, wake up, Will. Will Smith is in the fucking sunken place right now. Will, it's me, Chris, your old buddy. You've known me for fucking 30 years. I'm a comedian. I tell jokes. Remember laughter, the shit you did 15 seconds ago when I made the joke? Notice how he's clearly having an internal conflict when he's shouting at Chris Rock, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Notice how in the video from after that, when they were on a commercial break, Tyler Perry and Denzel are comforting Will. Will is crying because he knows he fucked up. Will knows deep down that he did the wrong thing. And further evidence of this is on video. It's the moment where Chris Rock says the joke and Will Smith laughs, bro. And it's not until he looks over and sees his wife's disappointment that he goes, oh, okay, now actually it isn't funny. So let me go ahead and act irrationally in the moment and go after Chris Rock because my wife didn't like that. In case you didn't see the whole clip, what happened was Chris Rock was addressing Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz, a married couple, both of whom were nominated for an Oscar tonight. And he was talking about how Javier Bardem's in a tough position because if he wins the Oscar, his wife is gonna be mad and da-da-da-da-da. And then he goes over to another supposed power couple, Will and Jada Pinkett, and he says to them, Will is also nominated tonight. Jada, can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane 2. It was a perfect setup where he talks about a power couple, both of whom are nominated for an Oscar, and then he juxtaposes that with talking about Will and Jada, and using the classic tool of misdirection, he makes a joke, and it was funny, and everyone, including Will Smith, laughed. You know who didn't laugh? Jada Pinkett. And now all of a sudden, Will Smith, who, when left to his own devices, laughs and finds it funny, now that his wife doesn't find it funny, oh, actually, that's not funny. And he goes and makes a fucking fool out of himself. And before y'all say he was making fun of someone with alopecia, or that I'm saying it's okay to make fun of people's conditions, you can go and watch the Instagram video that she posted where she says this.
Now at this point, I can only laugh. Now y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and so it just showed up like that. Now this is gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so y'all not asking any questions. But you know, Mama's gonna put some rhinestones in there. And I'm just gonna make me a little crown. That's what Mama's gonna do.
I'm Jada Pinkett Smith. Hey, Will, I'm gonna publicly ridicule you by talking about how I had an affair with our son's friend. I'm gonna spin it to make it look like I'm the victim and I needed healing and blah, 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 blah. But if a comedian makes a joke about something I openly said I was going to be joking about publicly for the world to see, sick 'em. And I'm sure Jada is gonna come out on Red Table Talk, you know, in that moment, I was really hurt and I felt vulnerable and blah, 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 blah. And when that moment comes, I want y'all to go back and refer to the shit she posted on Instagram where she said she's gonna laugh about it. When somebody comes out and says, here's the thing that I'm living with and I'm gonna make fun of it, I'm gonna laugh about it, don't you think it says to people, all right, I have a sense of humor about this? Let's all be in on it together? I don't think that what Chris Rock did was mean-spirited. The G.I. Jane shit was almost like an afterthought because he was saying like, yo, big up Javier and Penelope for being nominated. Yo, Will, big up for being nominated. It was almost a courtesy just to even include Jada Pinkett's unaccomplished fucking bitch ass in the conversation. And it makes no sense for Will to be upset about this. I remember when the whole entanglement thing was going on, Will Smith posted a video on TikTok of him he's skipping rope as part of his like fitness transformation. And the top comment said something like, try not to get entangled while skipping rope or something like that. And Will Smith responded to it and was like, haha, that was a good one. You got me, haha, very funny. But when Chris Rock, literally a comedian who's up on stage doing what he's supposed to be doing, makes a joke, not even about her alopecia, just about her appearance, not okay. And Chris Rock, God bless him, still somehow had the fucking willpower, no pun intended, to not fuck up the money. The impact and the legacy of Chris Rock is worth more than Will Smith soiling his reputation because his wife couldn't take a fucking joke. Watch this. This is, to me, evidence of Will Smith being under some form of manipulation or coercion or brainwashing by Jada Pinkett. And I don't know what dirt she has on Will Smith to have him deal with situation B the way he did versus situation A. Now I'm gonna show you. This is a video from a couple of years ago, 2012, a decade ago, bro. Look. And look. The tiniest little backhand love tap. So consider 10 years prior, where Will Smith presumably has 10 years less maturity, 10 years less wisdom, 10 years less emotional intelligence. He reacts like that to another man assaulting him in front of a bunch of people and walks off like it's nothing. His reaction is not as drastic and violent as when Chris Rock, a fellow peer who is a comedian on stage at an event where you would expect him to be doing comedy, makes a harmless joke about his wife. If that isn't a clear example of how Jada Pinkett Smith's negative influence has affected Will to act in an illogical way, like I literally don't know what a better example is. Even if you think it was offensive, in comedy the rule is it doesn't matter if what you say is offensive as long as it's actually funny. If you make people laugh, you're off the fucking hook. And Will Smith laughed. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like, say whatever you want about me, do whatever you want to me, but don't bring my wife or my kids into it. Okay. But the relative severity of his reaction compared to what actually happened doesn't add up. I've heard people say already, ultimately it's Will's fault because Will is in control of his own reactions and his own impulses, and he chose to walk up there and slap Chris Rock. But I want you to consider the following perspective. We all know that when people are under duress or in situations where they're being manipulated and controlled by others, or they fear the consequences that might come later from someone else if they don't do something hard right now, they don't always act in the way that they would act if they weren't inhibited or coerced by someone else. An example that I gave was Charles Manson never killed anybody, but he inspired and motivated and planned for his followers to go and kill people. And because of it, Charles Manson went to jail until he died. I think both Will and Jada are at fault. Jada's at fault for her contribution, which was making Will feel like he had to do that and not being able to take a fucking joke. Like, you know what it is at an award show, Jada. Act like you've been at a fucking award show before. Ricky Gervais or Chris Rock or whoever is on stage, that's what they do. They take the piss out of the celebrities in the audience and they make fun of people and they make jokes. That's literally their job. That's what they do. They joke. They're comedians. They make jokes. Will, it was his responsibility at the end of the day to say, okay, you know what? My wife is upset about it. We'll talk about it later. I'm not going to go and slap this person who is my friend and my contemporary because my wife is upset at this harmless joke. Will is definitely in the wrong for that. The only person who I think is free of guilt here and should be applauded is Chris Rock. Jada Pinkett Smith is a person whose celebrity status is directly connected to and dependent upon her being married to Will Smith, who is a real star. And Jada Pinkett Smith is a B-list actor at best, whose relevance has been tied to the fact that she is married to Will Smith. And before that, it was tied to the fact that she was involved with Tupac. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith are not a power couple. Will Smith is a star and Jada Pinkett Smith is married to him. Change my mind. Every opportunity Jada Pinkett Smith gets to emasculate and humiliate and disempower Will Smith, who is, in my opinion, the closest thing that we have to a superhero in real life. Whether it's the whole entanglement shit, she manages somehow to play the victim and say how she was in so much pain and she needs healing and blah, blah, blah. And the way that she gets that is through her son's friend, August Alsina, by cheating on her husband and fucking her son's friend. Imagine for a moment, if you will, that during this time when Will and Jada were having their marital problems, if Will Smith, instead of Jada, if Will Smith went and started sleeping around with one of Willow's friends. Will Smith would be canceled and it would be a fucking wrap. But when it's Jada Pinkett Smith, here we go. Another opportunity to put the spotlight on herself and in the process, make Will Smith look like he has no balls. And on the flip side, Will Smith, at every opportunity he gets, uplifts his wife and puts his wife on Front Street and is no doubt responsible for the lifestyle that she has lived and enjoyed for the past however many decades that they've been together. How come we heard so much about August and Jada Pinkett? She put it out there. I didn't hear nothing about the bitches Will was fucking while they were on their break. Again, an example of Will showing respect to his wife and his relationship and only presenting the best side of her in public, but her not doing the same thing when it comes to him. If Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith get divorced, Will Smith is gonna be on his Leonardo DiCaprio shit, making sick movies and fucking bitches half his age. If Jada Pinkett becomes single again, after all the shit she's put Will through, tell me, what guy in his right mind, famous or not famous, is gonna be like, I should go scoop that up. She's quite the prize. Part of me wants to just put my hands on Will Smith's shoulders and go, hey, you're Will Smith. You don't need to be doing this. You don't need this bitch. She needs you. Raise your hand in the chat if you grew up with a fucking Jada Pinkett Smith poster on your wall. Will Smith's response, let's see.
Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family.
Oh, no, don't. I pray he's not about to grandstand and be like, I'm just defending my family too.
I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do.
Don't bring God into this, Will. Already 2 deflections of accountability. First, I'm just defending my family, and now God. I find that people who are like pathological liars, narcissists, self-indulgent, manipulative people love nothing more than bringing God into the shit when they get called out or when they have a bad moment. It's literally the meme where it's like, I dated a church girl so that when I cheat on her, I can just blame the devil and then we can pray about it together. God ain't got nothing to do with your crazy wife.
I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
The fuck out of here. He must have gone to the Jada Pinkett Smith school of doing bad shit and making people actually look at you as the victim despite it. The fucking rich Hollywood, privileged fucking the world revolves around me attitude is no more prevalent than in the saying entanglement, because she can't even bring herself to admit that what she was doing was being in a sexual relationship with someone who was not her husband, that she had to make up new words. Will Smith needs to hang with Johnny Depp, just the 2 of them for a few days. 100%. How do you slap a dude and you're the one crying after? I wonder if after all these years of action movies, Will Smith really thinks he's that dude in real life who can go and kick 20 dudes' asses. Dude, Chris Rock wasn't even flustered. He didn't even fucking fall down. He didn't even go and grab his face. It's just overcompensatory, peacocking, bravado bullshit. It sucks to see men, regardless of how successful and accomplished and beloved worldwide they are, get fucking shrunk down and stepped on and emasculated by entitled bitches. Did I do good, Jada? I did the right thing, right, Jada? She's like, down boy. Tupac would have shot him. Was this Will's first Oscar? I sure hope not. Please tell me this wasn't Will's first Oscar. No, it was his first Oscar too? No!